The wind moved gently through the golden fields of wheat, the sound of leaves mixed with the smell of summer. Near an old wooden fence stood a large brown horse named Blaze. His eyes were calm and deep, as if they carried the memory of every sunrise he had seen. Blaze had been with the family for years, working side by side with his owner, Ethan, from dawn until dusk. Together they planted, fed the animals, and cared for the land. Blaze trusted Ethan more than anyone in the world, and Ethan often said that Blaze could understand every word he spoke. But lately something had changed. Ethan no longer came to the stable early in the morning, and the house at the end of the path was full of new sounds. Laughter, soft whispers, and tiny cries. Could sense that something important had happened, though he could not understand it completely. His heart felt a kind of waiting, like he knew that someone new was coming into his world. One bright morning, the door of the house opened. Ethan stepped out with something wrapped in a blue blanket. Blaze lifted his head, curious, and watched Ethan walk toward him. When he got closer, Blaze saw a tiny face, a baby sleeping peacefully in his father's arms. Ethan smiled and whispered softly, "This is my son Liam. Meet him, Blaze." The horse bent his head very slowly, sniffed the air around the baby, and made a quiet sound deep in his throat. The baby moved, a little, opened his eyes for a second, and gave a small, innocent smile. From that moment, Blaze never looked at the world the same way. He would stand near the house every morning, watching the windows where the baby slept, and each time he heard the baby's cry, he would neigh softly, as if saying, "I am here, it will be okay." Ethan and his wife Anna often joked that Blaze had become the baby's guardian angel on 4 legs. But in truth, there was something real, something almost magical between them. As months passed and Liam grew older, Blaze became more protective. When Anna took the baby out for a walk, Blaze would follow slowly, his heavy steps careful and quiet, his eyes always on the stroller. Whenever Liam laughed, Blaze would shake his mane and make a playful snort, as if laughing too. Sometimes, when the baby reached out his tiny hand, Blaze would lower his great head until the little fingers could touch the warm fur of his face. It became their daily ritual. One afternoon, while the sky turned orange and the wind blew stronger, Anna left the door slightly open as she went to prepare dinner. Inside the house, Liam was learning to crawl. He followed the sound of birds outside, and before anyone noticed, he was out crawling through the grass, heading toward the open field. Blaze saw him from the stable. He lifted his head, his ears turned toward the child, and his heart began a race. He saw the small figure moving closer and closer to the edge of the field, where there was a deep pond hidden among the reeds. In that instant, Blaze moved faster than he ever had before. His hooves pounded the ground, his breath loud and wild. He reached the child. Just as Liam reached the edge, Blaze stopped right in front of him, blocking his path, and let out a loud neigh that echoed across the valley. Anna heard the sound and ran out screaming. When she saw the scene, her knees went weak. There was her baby sitting in the grass, and Blaze standing guard like a giant protector. The horse looked at her, then at the baby, as if to say, "He is safe now." Anna fell to her knees, hugging her son, tears streaming down her face. Ethan came running, and when he understood what had happened, he placed his hand on Blaze's neck, whispering, "Good boy, you saved him again." That night, Blaze stayed close to the window of Liam's room and did not move until the light went out inside, as if making sure his little friend was safe. The years rolled by. Liam learned to walk and run, and every step he took, Blaze was never far away. Follow him around the farm like a silent shadow. Sometimes Liam would talk to him for hours, telling him stories in his little voice, and Blaze would just listen, his big brown eyes full of patience and love. Ethan would watch them from a distance and smile. He used to say that Blaze was the calmest creature alive, but with Liam, he was something even more gentle. When Liam turned 3, Ethan decided it was time to let him sit on Blaze's back for the first time. The horse stood still as a statue, while Ethan lifted the boy up. The moment Liam touched Blaze's mane, he laughed with joy, and the horse took a slow, careful step around the yard. From that day, it became their favorite thing to do. Every morning, Ethan would lead Blaze out, and Liam would ride him while the sun rose over the fields. Anna would stand by the fence, watching them with a heart full of peace. But time moves as it always does. The seasons changed. The boy grew taller, and the horse grew older. Blaze's steps became slower, his mane whiter yet. Every morning, he still waited near the house until Liam came running to greet him. One day, when Liam was around 6 years old, he found Blaze lying in the grass, resting. Under the big oak tree, he sat beside him and placed his small hand on the horse's nose, saying softly, "I love you, Blaze." The horse opened his eyes, gave one last deep breath, and looked at the boy with the same calm gaze he had since the first day. Then he closed his eyes again, and the wind seemed to grow quiet. They buried Blaze under that same oak tree, the one that had they seen them grow together. Ethan carved a small wooden sign and wrote, "Blaze, our friend, our guardian, our family." As Liam grew up, he never forgot the horse that had watched over him. He would sit under that tree every summer and tell stories to the wind, pretending Blaze was still listening. Years later, when Liam became a father himself, he carried his newborn baby to that same spot. He whispered to his tiny daughter, "This is where my first friend used to stand. His name was Blaze, and he waited for me before I was even old enough to walk." And sometimes when the wind passed through the fields softly, he could almost hear the sound of hooves in the distance, gentle and strong, as if Blaze was still there, watching, guarding, and loving, just like he always did. Please leave a like on this video and share your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe to The Gentle Bond for more incredible true stories of love, loyalty, and the magic that happens when a pet becomes family.